Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. My name is Catalina and I'm the person behind by Catalina Design. Long time no see in this format, but I'm happy to be back. And in today's video I want to show you, but also to explain the knitting increases, and I will talk about M1 left, M1 right. But first I want to thank Skillshare for sponsoring this video. If you enjoy this technique that I'm about to show you, and if you want to level up your knitting, crocheting or other craft skill level, then Skillshare is the perfect platform to start with. I found one that is really interesting, and it's the Perfect Fit Knits by Brandy Cayenne Harper. I hope that I pronounced her name correctly. And it's about not only that perfect fit knits, but she talks about understanding and modifying knitting patterns. Skillshare is the largest online learning community for creatives, with thousands of classes led by industry experts. You can find topics as film, illustration, design, freelance, productivity, and more. And of course, like I said, there are plenty of videos about knitting, embroidery, sewing. So there are plenty of craft classes over there. And Skillshare can help you to take your skills of hobbies or passions to the next level. I really find really useful the learning paths, which are curated sequential class collection that can help you to master a specific skill. Now I hope that you are interested about trying Skillshare, and don't forget, because the first 500 people to use my link in the description will get 1 month free trial of Skillshare. So get started today. Now let's get back to the M1R, M1L. I started a while ago to make this sweater, and I wanted because now I'm experimenting with knitting. I found it really interesting to dive into different techniques. It helps me a lot with crochet also, because some of the techniques are more used into knitting and not that often into crochet, and this helps me to understand the construction and how to apply those techniques to crochet. So I started to have this this construction of my sweater with modified drop shoulder construction, and I needed, because I started with the upper back and I needed to increase for those shoulder lines that you can see on the back. And I didn't pay attention to how I made the increases. I think, if I remember correctly, that I did at the beginning of the row, I was just working 2 stitches into the same stitch, and at the end of the row I was picking up the bar in between the stitches, and this is how I made an increase. I didn't pay attention to while is to the right or to the left. I just increase how I felt. But when I picked up the stitches for the front panel, and I realized that those lines are not symmetrical and they are not looking the same at all, I don't mind. That's why I continued with the sweater, because I really don't mind. I stopped being so focused on details and just enjoying the process. But I was thinking that, after all, if I want to make a video tutorial for this and I will make the increases like this, I might have comments about it. So I decided to dive into M1L, M1R, because these are the most used increases. And I have to admit that I knew about them even before, but I was struggling. Every time I wanted to make these increases, I needed to watch again a video tutorial because I didn't understand the logic behind it. I couldn't see any difference in between them. Of course, because I didn't pay too much attention to it, but I needed to understand what is it with this M1L and M1R. I understood, I know how to make them, but why is like this? And I understood that one you are making one and the stitches are leaning to the right, and with the other one they are leaning to the left. But the point is that the stitches are going in that direction anyway, so I couldn't understand. But yeah, even while I was filming this video, I kind of struggle with this concept, because I have this modified way of purling. I posted about it a while ago on my Instagram account, and I realized that so many people are purling the same. And because of my modified purl technique, in continental knitting, I need to knit the stitches into the back loop, so not into the front. And at first, when I started to make this increasing, I thought that I might need to switch them, so to make M1L instead of M1R and reverse, because kind of my stitches are twisted. But I filmed before I started filming the tutorial making the M1R and M1L as they are, and then I said, okay, maybe I need to switch, because my knit stitches are twisted. And then I realized that I didn't need it to switch, because the loop that we create is basically the same no matter how you're knitting or purling. So yeah, but now I'm ready to explain you what is with M1L and M1R and so on. So first of all, M1L and M1R comes from make one left and make one right, and is all due to the fact that we need to have the stitches leaning to one side or another, to the left or to the right. And the thing is that my first confusion was that I was looking at the line that is creating after increases, because usually we are letting a bit of a few stitches before making the increases and after, if it's at the end of the row. I thought that make one left or make one right is related with this line creating. And if I want this line to lean to the right, then I make a M1 right. But it's wrong, because it's related with the stitches after or the stitches before the increase. And if I want the stitches to go to the left, then I need to make an M1 left. And if I want the stitches to go to the right, then it's an M1 right. So I understood this, and then still couldn't see the difference. So I was making M on the left, I was making M1 right, okay, but what is the difference? And in the end, I realized what is the difference is not such a big deal. It's only that it's creating a neat increased stitch that is less visible than if you will do some other increases. It's looking more polished, more professional, so it kind of gives your knits better looking and looking so professional. So now let me show you how to make the M1 left and the M1 right, and why we are doing so, and how to identify if you need to make a M1 left and how to identify if you need to make an M1 right. And even if you don't remember how to make the left or the right, if you need to the front, or if you need to the back, or how to pick the strand that is between the stitches, I will explain you how. Let's just say that you need to make an M1 left and you're making the stitch as you remember, and how to identify if that stitch is an M1 left or is an M1 right, or if you did it correctly or you need to switch to the other version. Because this was also in my head, because I don't want to watch every time a video tutorial to stop knitting and okay, well, what I need to do right now. So I think it's easier if I'm just drawing the stitch, looking at it, okay, is this an M1 left, how I need it or not. I know that with experience, practice, this will get into your head really easily, but I think that these tips are really useful if you just want to start knitting and want to make a sweater and want to increase professionally. Okay, so let's get started with the knitting piece. So I'm starting now with the upper back of the sweater. The upper back is worked top down, and I will cast on the stitches that I need for the neckline width. In a different tutorial, I will show you how you can make the sweater, and also I'm thinking of making a tutorial explaining and giving more details about the construction, and maybe you can build your sweater as you wish. And now I will make a setup row, and I will purl all the stitches. And then starting with row 2, I will begin with the increases. Okay, so now just purling all the stitches to the end of the row. And now that we finished the first setup row, we will begin with the increases. I will let 4 stitches at the beginning and 4 stitches at the end as the margin. And so first we will need at the beginning of the row to grow the fabric to the left from this line that we created with the first stitches. So we will need to make 1 left. And at the end of the row, we will need to grow the fabric to the right of the margin of, so we will need to increase to make 1 right. So now you can choose how many stitches to let at the beginning. Let's do it with 3, so this will be our line, our margin. And now to make 1 right, I will need to pick the strand in between, and I'll go with my right needle from front to back, and then I will place that strand on the left needle. You need to have the looser strand in the front, and then a tight loop into the back, and we will need the stitch into the back loop, and this is a 1 stitch increase and is to the left. Later in the video I will show you more about how to identify the stitches, if it's on the left or on the right. Now we will need all the stitches until we have 3 stitches left, and we will make 1 right. Okay, I have a few stitches more to the end, and when I have 3 stitches we will make 1 to the right. So to make 1 to the right, we will pick up the bar, and I picked it up also from front to back, but I'm making sure on putting the strand on the left needle to have the loose part of the loop into the back and the tight part of the loop into the front, and we will need this stitch into the front, and this is how we did make one right. Okay, and now that we finished this row, this pattern requires to increase only on the right side, so now we will purl all the stitches to the end of the row, and we will repeat these two rows, so increasing in the same way at the beginning of the row after 3 stitches from the margin, and at the end of the row before 3 stitches of the margin. And we will repeat this, depends on how many rows the pattern requires. And you will increase only on the right side row. Now I will work a few more rows to make this increases a bit more visible, and then I will explain how to identify the stitch, if it's a make one right or a make one left. And as I said in the introduction of the video, I will show you, because then I switched and started all over again and make the increases differently. So at the beginning make one right, at the end make one left, and then I switched again because I realized that it was correctly how I was making them, and I will show you how to identify and what is the difference. Okay, so here I am after a few more rows, and as you can see at the beginning, because I started all over, and here for the first 1, 2, 3, 4 rows, I did a make one right at the beginning instead of a make one left. And as you can see that this increasing are not looking as neat, but it's not that it's looking too bad, but indeed the make one left, it's looking neater and cleaner, so definitely it's a better way to do it. So this is the loop that we're creating with this increases, and we need to look at the strand that is on top. If the strand that is on top goes into the loop from right to left, then it's a make one left. If it's going from left to right into the loop, then it's a make one right. And I'm looking always only at the strand that is on top. And now if we are looking at the increased stitches, so here is one, and you can see that the loop is going from right to left into the loop, and the other one is going from left to right into the loop. So if you want to make these increases and you remember one but you don't know if it's to the left or to the right, you can look at the front strand, so the strand that lays in front of the loop, and if it's going into the loop from right to left, into the left direction, then it's a make one left. And if you needed to make a make one right, then you switch and work into the front of the loop, or if you needed to make a make one left and it's correct, then you let it like this. So this is about the make one left, make one right. So again, the make one left, you can pick the loop from the front to the back to have the, here is the front loop, so it's going from right to the left, and we are knitting the stitch into the back, the tighter part of the stitch, and as you can see it's going from the right to the left. And then I will knit all the stitches to the end, and I will show you one more time the make one right. So now we are picking the bar from front with the right needle, and we're placing it on the left needle with the tighter part of the loop into the front, and we are knitting it into the front. And now the front strand of the loop is going from the left to the right, and this is how I know that is a make one right. So now that we clarified these 2 stitches, I want to show you how they are looking after finishing the upper back. The fabric that I have, it's a bit wonky because I already started with the front panels as well. But as you can see, these stitches, of course that it depends on the tension, how you work them, how tight or how loose, or the yarn. But they are definitely looking way more better than the first version. Yeah, this is not such a clean line as we have on the other side, on the other sample. Okay, so I hope this tutorial was fun for you to watch. I hope that you learned something. Let me know if you have any tips or tricks for knitting techniques, or if you want to know more about it. This was what happened in my life lately with knitting more. That's why I wanted to share with you this video. But of course that there will come more crochet related videos as well. So yeah, I hope you have a wonderful week. I hope you have a wonderful time today. I'm really hoping to be back more often with this kind of videos. And yeah, see you later. Don't forget to check my other videos, tutorials, or even the weekly journals in which I share different tips and tricks with you. So thank you so much for watching, and see you next time. Bye!